Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to conduct the slider crank change experiment to collect the data from the experiment. Here you can see this slider crank change apparatus, which consists of a slider acted as a piston, so a connecting rod. This is a connecting rod. And this connecting rod is adjustable, so it can be adjusted from 115, 130, 140, 155, and 175 millimeter. And a crank act as the crankshaft for the internal combustion engine. Well, before you take any reading, make sure that the apparatus is in good working condition. So try to rotate the crank and make sure that the apparatus is working properly. Well, to start off with the experiment, so make sure that the connecting rod is of a length of 155 millimeter, which is connected. The slider is connected to the first inner hole of the connecting rod. Set the crank to 0-degree angle. So you can see a circular label which can be used for us to read the angle of the crank. And you can see a horizontal label here for us to read the displacement of the slider or of the piston. And you see a cross scale here. This is a cross scale. So cross scale is used to measure or read the distance OX. So OX will actually give us the velocity of the piston using the instantaneous center method, and assuming that this crank will rotate at 1 radian per second. Well, set the crank to 0-degree angle. So jot down the reading from the horizontal scale in a unit of millimeter. So I can read now is 60 millimeter, and jot down the reading of the cross scale. So it's actually giving a reading of 43 millimeter. And then increase the crank radius to 10 degree. So jot down the reading of the horizontal scale and also of the cross scale. So this horizontal scale reading will give us the displacement, and this cross scale reading will give us the velocity of the piston. And then increase 10 degree each time. Jot down the reading of the cross scale and also of the horizontal scale until we get a complete 360 degree rotation of the crank, a complete revolution of the crankshaft, and the angle return back to 0-degree for the crank. So after this, so just loosen these two nuts, and then we can actually set the connecting rod length to a length of 140 millimeter connecting rod length, which is by fixing a slider, the pivot of a slider to the third hole of the connecting rod. So this will give us a connecting rod length now of 140 millimeter. So in this experiment, we only need to collect the data for 115 connecting rod length, 140 connecting rod length, and the last one would be 175 connecting rod length. So just repeat the steps mentioned to collect the 115 connecting rod length data with now 140 connecting rod length data.